This is THG News Today on THG Network. Good morning. My name is Mervin Hanley. It's Thursday, 5th September. The news, of course, is powered by Carl & Sons Unique Bakery on St. Martin. Carl & Sons Unique Bakery with 3 locations on the island, Coal Bay, Pondville, and at the Medical Center. If you have not as yet, we always ask that you subscribe before you leave here. You never know what you'll miss as far as news and information, so it will be a good idea to subscribe, and I thank you in advance for that. Now, listeners, viewers, we begin this morning with sad news, the tragedy we have been following there in the state of Georgia, where a mass shooter, 14 years old, killed 2 students and 2 teachers at one of the high schools there in Winder, Georgia, on Wednesday morning. The gunman, or the boy, his name is Colt Gray. The high school, which is home to around 1,900 students. 9 victims were taken to the hospital with gunshot injuries, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The shooting was reported at 10:23 a.m., and Gray, the gunman, the child, surrendered to the police when he was apprehended. He too is a student at this high school, authorities confirmed. Now, just imagine how, I just can't imagine, actually. I mean, these students and the teachers, they probably left home, you know, what most of us will say, or some of us will say to our loved ones. See you later, you kiss your loved ones goodbye, and you say, see you later, have a good day. Not knowing that they will not return to their families. Well, at least not alive. And this is certainly a tragedy, certainly a sad day in America. Let's move on to news out of Montserrat. On Monday, September 2nd, Paul Lewis, leader of the opposition in Montserrat, alongside former premier of Montserrat, Donaldson Romeo, came together to announce via ZJB Radio Spirit of Montserrat the merger of the National Progressive Movement under the People's Democratic Movement umbrella, led by Lewis, to contest the upcoming 2024 general elections on October 24th. Both parliamentarians outlined during their radio address that the decision to come together reflects their deep commitment towards unity of purpose, which they consider to be essential to take Montserrat forward. By coming together, the parties have seen it in the best interest of Montserrat's development, according to this release, to pool resources, ideas, and strength to build the next government that truly represents the desires and aspirations for progress of every resident and citizen of Montserrat. This merger under the PDM banner to contest the October 24th general elections brings together 2 past presidents of the Montserrat Civil Association, a former premier. Now, what I'm reading to you, they're all coming together as one. It sounds like a confusion or cook-up or pilau, but let me just read everybody who's coming together. And, well, we hope they last. But let me read it. This merger under the PDM banner to contest the October 24th general elections brings together 2 past presidents of the Montserrat Civil Association, a former premier, a former speaker of the Montserrat Legislative Assembly, 3 former ministers of government, the leader of the opposition, a former parliamentary secretary and parliamentarian, alongside skilled entrepreneurs and businessmen that added to the vibrancy of skills, desire, and true belief in the future of Montserrat's promise to form the next government to move the island forward. That end of the press release. Well, there was more, but that's how I will end it. So we have all these people from past governments, past opposition. Yes, one unity. They're all unified now to get into office. It begins when they get into office because, you know, I'm predicting that they will win. And so we will see what happens. And I wish them all the best. Out of the British Virgin Islands, Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honourable Natalia Wheatley, has strongly criticised the timing of the opposition's recent motion of no confidence, labelling it as both ill-timed and damaging to the territory, especially given the current order in council hovering over the Virgin Islands. The motion, which was listed on the order paper for the 19th sitting of the first session of the 5th House of Assembly on September 3rd, was ultimately removed after Premier Wheatley successfully objected to its inclusion, citing procedural failures by the opposition. He described the motion as a grab for power at a critical juncture for the territory. Premier Wheatley emphasized that his government has been at the forefront of the ongoing reform process, addressing long-standing issues and significantly strengthening key areas within the Virgin Islands. He argued that the opposition's attempt to destabilize the government at this time could undermine these efforts, particularly with the looming threat of the order in council. The motion comes just as Premier Wheatley prepares to travel to the United Kingdom for a crucial meeting with the UK Ministers of Overseas Territories. During this meeting, according to 284 News, Premier Wheatley is expected to request the lifting of the reserved order in council, which could potentially suspend the Virgin Islands Constitution if invoked. I have to say this. Ever since the unfortunate happened with former Premier Andrew Foy, and ever since the election of this Virgin Islands government, a party government, I must say that the Premier Wheatley, he has been trying his utmost best to turn the page and to get the British Virgin Islands where it ought to be, or should be from a long time ago. Because of course, with the Andrew Foy situation, that was a setback. And this premier has tried. Everything the British put down on them, he has tried to complete. His government, everything they say, almost everything, they have tried to meet every single deadline just to keep proper good governance, for stability. And here is the opposition with a hunger and thirst for power. They don't care about that. All that they want is power to get in there. And I want to say to Premier Wheatley, if you're listening, and your team, just to keep pushing. Continue the great work for the people of the Virgin Islands. And I hope that your meeting is a successful one in the United Kingdom, because if it's not successful, then we never know what can happen to that constitution and what will be, whether or not it will be suspended. This is a time when everyone's supposed to be rallying with the government because of the situation and the threat hanging over their heads. But instead, we have some power-hungry men and women trying to get into power. To do what? How far will that get you? When the British is out to get you. And here is a premier trying to get back on track the Virgin Islands. And finally, in our news this morning, on Tuesday, St. Vincent and the Grenadines passed a law banning the use of alcohol consumption at funerals. In May, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves defended his government's decision to ban the consumption of alcohol at funerals, saying the issue had become quite terrible. We treat funerals in a very solemn way, Gonsalves said, adding that he hopes this tradition continues as the government moves ahead with the ban. And I agree with Gonsalves with this. I am with Prime Minister with this. Have some respect. With that, we've just concluded THG News for this morning. You join us tomorrow morning, same time, for a similar presentation. THG News today was powered by Carl & Sons Unique Bakery. Have a good day, everyone. Carl & Sons have been serving the people of St. Martin for over 40 years. And the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Carl & Sons for simply the best. There are two locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Carl & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Carl & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Nevis, satisfy your sweet tooth at Feaser's, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal parade. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties, sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Feaser's, located at the entrance to the Cotton Jewelry Mall in Charlestown, Nevis. They are also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best.